everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Tiva Drive, and this time around we are testing the third version of the BMW 7 Series. So as you know, we have previously tested the base model, which is the i7 xDrive 60. Then we test drove the plug-in hybrid 750e, and this is now the third version. This is the top of the line, the most expensive version, and also the most powerful version of any electric BMW. This is a 2024 BMW i7 M70. Yes, it's been tuned up by the M division to match the Mercedes EQS AMG sedan. And so here we have the horsepower that's rated at 650 with boost, like 10-second boost up to 750 horsepower, giving this car, this limo we should say, almost a stretch limo, acceleration of 3.7 seconds 0 to 100, which matches exactly the horsepower and the acceleration figures of the Mercedes EQS sedan AMG. In terms of the battery, this is the same battery pack as in the base i7, which is 101.6 net usable battery capacity. We'll tell you in a moment what this car is capable of in terms of the EV range on the highway. This kind of car, you don't bother hypermiling it. Really, honestly, there's no point. You just take it on the highway and drive it normally, and it's quite efficient. We'll tell you all about it later. So in the front, there's really not much difference from the versions that we drove before. Of course, the full electric i7 has a different grille than the 750e, but they look almost identical. That's the difference between the Mercedes full electrics and Mercedes plug-in hybrids. They are completely different cars, where this is a universal platform that houses pure gas, plug-in hybrid and full electric. So they look almost the same. It's very hard to tell them apart. Just a different grille here. LED matrix daytime DRLs are here, daytime running lights, and the main headlight is here down below. You can option also laser headlights if you wish. These are just the LEDs, but they work. These are matrix LEDs. They do lots of cool tricks that we'll show on our Facebook page later. And so the only way you can tell that this is an M division car, here's the M logo at the front. And that's how you know that this is the top of the line M70 version of the i7. Again, the most powerful and also the most expensive 7 Series. So this car starts at $185,000 plus options. So as optioned here, this car is $225,000. How does it compare with the EQS AMG? The EQS AMG, with very similar specs in terms of the power and acceleration, is actually 10 grand more, 195 plus options. The other German car you may consider as a competition would be a Taycan. So you can get, to get the same acceleration in a Taycan, you'll be fine with a 4S, either sedan or Cross Turismo, which are priced between 150 and 160, and they get the same 3.7 acceleration from 0 to 100. If you go from the side, you see here the nice M logo as well on the side of the car, and then you can see the tire size is 255 21 inches, 255 49 21. And I believe, I'm pretty sure they are staggered in the back. So let's check out the back. In the back, we have 285s. Yes, they are staggered. So 255 front, 285 rear, 285, 35, 21. Beautiful M rims. And again, you have the two-tone here. So BMW Press Fleet Manager spec'd this one out kind of a halfway. So when we had the first i7 60 xDrive, the car was fully loaded with options. Then the 750 we had was just the basic options. And this one is kind of a halfway. So you'll see on the interior that only has some options, kind of a halfway solution. So let's show you the interior, even though you've seen it already in our previous i7 videos. Minimal differences in terms of how it's spec'd out. So we left it running because the car turns itself off. So we left the preconditioning running because again, you cannot keep the car on when you exit it, automatically turns itself off. Of course, there's cool seats. This car is equipped with a lounge seat, so we'll demonstrate it in a moment. You have some, this is the vegan cloth, recycled materials. So it's kind of unusual to see a $225,000 car with no Napa leather inside. So these are actually cloth seats, but you have nice carbon fiber accents on the interior here all around. Beautiful LED lighting, which we showed in our videos on Facebook page and in the pictures as well before. Yeah, let's sit. So now the seat is moved forward because it's comfort access, which means that the seat, when you turn off the car, will pull itself back and to give you an ease of access. And then when you put on your seat belt, it moves forward and the wheel moves into your perfect pre-programmed position. So right now it's in the easy access position, and then as soon as you buckle up, the wheel goes down and the seat goes forward. But in order to demonstrate the comfort of the rear seat, we're going to move the seat forward a little bit more into my regular position. So let's jump in the back and show you the rear space. Basically now the 7 Series comes in only one length, which is the extended length. Before you could get a 7 Series in the short version and the IL long version. Right now there's only one version, which is the long version. You can see it by the long doors. Of course, you have in this version, you have the blinds, the sun blinds on the top, the side, the rear, and the rear window as well. So here's the space in the behind the driver. I can see lots of legroom. I can cross my legs and travel comfortably, but this is nothing. Let us show you how comfortable the other passenger in the back can be. Okay, so let me move over. Now you can stay here because I can just move over. There we go. By the way, of course, you have the vents in the middle and in the B pillars as well. So here you operate everything with the touch screen. You can show the other touch screen, maybe touch it as well to turn it on. Yeah, it comes on basically as soon as you touch it. And yeah, so I'm gonna use that screen to basically put this rear passenger seat in the most comfortable position. And again, you may have seen it in the i7 60 xDrive video. And that one also had a big screen, 40-inch screen, dropping the full width of the car, dropping behind the seats. But what that screen does is it forces you to move the driver's seat forward, which is not the most comfortable. Anyways, so here, let us touch the screen, the seats, and we're touching this little magic button, and you can see what's happening here. The seat in front is moving forward. It takes a few minutes to complete this operation. So you will see in a moment. Give us a couple of minutes. There we go. There's a message on the screen that popped up that is warning that the front seat might be obstructing the view of the driver, but it actually does not. In my position, when I'm driving, I can still see the mirror quite comfortably. So there we go. Here is the most comfortable position in the BMW 7 Series. And by the way, you can get this option as well as the large screen above in any 7 Series. So even the base 7 Series, it's an option that you can purchase. Okay, so let us show you the trunk now. So let me open the door here. It's quite easy, even with the seat in this position, it's quite easy to exit. There we go. Okay, so let us show you the trunk space. It's not as deep as the gas version, but it's deep this way, but not deep this way. So it's very, very long, but not very deep. So here is more storage though for cables and other stuff. So the big test will be when I pick up some guests from Europe from the airport today and try and fit their big suitcases in this car. Okay, so that's about it. Let's jump in now and take you for a spin using the launch mode, of course, and tell you about our impressions and results of our testing. Okay, so here we are inside the 2024 BMW i7 M70, the top of the line
7 Series, the most expensive and the most powerful electric BMW ever, with 650 horsepower, 3.7 seconds 0 to 100, 101 net usable battery. So the car is right now off, just running the preconditioning for the interior. We want you to hear all the sounds of the Hans Zimmer sounds that this car produces, that have been composed by the famous composer. So the start-stop button is right here. There you go. So you heard it. It's quite impressive. Now let's just put it on the home page. It was on the screen. Let's just put it on the. We've gone through the options and the in terms of the screens and what you can do on the other 7 Series. So we'll just leave it on live vehicle. This is our statistic for the trips today. But we'll talk about it later. So in order to change the modes, there is a My Modes button right here in the middle, just like the other 7 Series. So we're gonna, obviously, this being an M car, M division car, we're gonna put it in sport mode for you so you can hear the sounds of the sport mode in this M70 BMW i7. And we'll try and launch it. So as we said, 650 horsepower, but there's a little magic boost paddle here behind the steering wheel on the left only, which gives you an extra 100 horsepower, so up to 750 horsepower for 10 seconds in order to launch this car. And this is a big, heavy, long limousine, more comfortable than the Porsche Taycan, and I would venture to say it's more comfortable than the Mercedes EQS. All right, so let's take you for a quick spin and tell you about the results of our testing. So we've done only highway testing. We did some side roads, about I'd say 250 kilometers using side roads from Midland to Aurelia. We went to an EV event. We'll post some pictures from that event. EV show in Aurelia, then we went to Creemore. So we did quite a few side roads, and we'll tell you about the results of that test. So there's a bit of gravel here, it's a bit slippery, but we just want you to hear the sounds. So we won't be able to do the full launch because it's just a small driveway. There you go, you heard just a bit of it. So we'll try and launch it slightly for you. We're not even using the boost mode because it's not needed for now. So we're just gonna launch it in a moment, and just for a bit so that you can hear those sounds. I'm not sure if we'll have a chance to take it on the Gardner because the traffic is just it's a Sunday today. We're shooting on a Sunday, and the highway is super busy, both the Gardner and even the lakeshore. So there's pretty much no point in trying to go there. So we're gonna go on one of the side streets here, and we'll try and launch it here for you. Okay, from the start. We'll use the boost button. Oh, of course, there's a car behind us, so we have to let it go. And we'll wait until they go. And we'll try and launch the car in a few minutes when there's no traffic on the street. Okay, so just bear with us for a second. We're just gonna pass them as the people making shortcuts just like us in this area. Okay, so yes, the launch mode, how often we're gonna use it, how practical is it, I'm not sure, but it's there in case you wanna impress people with the 3.7 seconds acceleration. It's there, matching the Porsche Taycan 4S and matching the Mercedes EQS sedan AMG. So there we go. Let's go down. Boost button, there we go, 10 seconds, go. There we go. So it's quite impressive, yes, it basically makes your head spin, and the sounds that accompany it are quite impressive too. There was literally no wheel spin, even though there's so much power going to the wheels because of all the safety systems. 750 horsepower, that's a lot of horsepower. Yes, do you really need it? Especially here in Canada? Yes, if you're in Germany on the Autobahn, being able to go up to 250, which is electronically limited. If you were to remove it, I'm sure you could take it to 300 or more, which apparently you can in some versions of the Porsche Taycan. Here the BMW is electronically limited to 250, and so is the EQS AMG. But I'm sure they will be offering options to remove it for Germany and those areas where there are no speed limits. Here in Canada, we are stuck with our 110 speed limit in Ontario, and I don't think there's any other province that has more than 110. All right, so let us tell you about the trips that we took from Toronto to Midland and the Midland back to Toronto, and then compare with the side road. So as we found out previously on the 7 Series BMW, it doesn't matter what the version is, this is not a car that you would bother taking on a side road to do a hypermile. There's no point. Because it's very efficient on the highway. So the consumption that we got, and these were both hot days, over 30 degrees, so we had to use the climate. We keep the climate between 22 and 24. I like it, if the temperature outside is 30, I like to keep it at 24. You don't want to have a huge difference between outside temperature and inside temperature. That's the fastest recipe to catch a cold. So usually keep it at 24. Yes, we did use the efficient, so that's a nice thing, and the difference between BMW and Mercedes. In an AMG Mercedes, there is no efficiency mode. Here, there is one. So since you already heard the Hans Zimmer sounds in the sport mode, we're gonna change to efficient, and the lighting changes, the theme on the car, on the ambient lighting changes to blue. There's no more red in efficient mode. And yes, we did drive in efficient mode. So whereas the AMG Mercedes does not have an efficiency mode, this car does. So even the M Division tuned 7 Series, the i7 M70 has an efficiency mode. And so driving in efficiency mode, which is powerful enough, trust me, even for passing, etc. The consumption, and we always drive on the Highway 400 following traffic in middle to left lane. So it's not like following semis in the right lane at all. And we got a consumption of under 20. So on the way up north, we got it under 20, just under 20, which gives this car 500 kilometer highway range. Now going south, which is always a bit more efficient, today the conditions were almost identical. Temperature was over 30, but we were going southbound on the 400 from Barrie to Toronto, you're going downhill. So you always get a slightly better result. So today we got a result under 19, 18.7. So that's spectacular for such a long, big, heavy car with up to 750 horsepower. That's incredible. That's really, really good. So this is a comfortable, very comfortable and efficient highway cruiser. And of course, you can turn it into, it's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's basically, you can drive it efficiently, then you can put a sport mode, and you can, floor it. So on the side roads, when we took it from Midland to Orillia for the EV meetup, and then we drove to Creemore the same day, total of about 250 kilometers, the car, basically the results were the same. So even though you're driving slower, but there's a lot of stop and go, going through villages, etc. The result was exactly the same, 19 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So there's really no point. So just take it on the highway, drive it normally, and you will love it. So we'll try, actually we won't bother with the Gardner because it's just super busy. If we were to take it on the Gardner, we'll put it in auto steer. Here we go. Even on the city streets, you can use the auto steer. And we set it at the speed limit. Auto steer works quite well. And this car is not equipped with the Assist Plus hands-free, but it does have auto steer and adaptive cruise. So what that meant is on the Highway 400 from Toronto to Barrie, whereas with Assist Plus, we drove a few BMWs with Assist Plus, we were basically hands-free from Toronto to Barrie. This car forces you to keep your hand on the steering wheel all the time. So the moment you take your hand off the steering wheel, it'll send you warnings, flash those lights. The same green light that tells you in Assist Plus that you can be hands-free. In this version, without the Assist Plus, basically the car is just, it has auto steer, it has adaptive, but it's definitely not hands-free. Oh, there's a lot of traffic going. Yes, so that's about it in terms of our experience with this 2024 BMW i7 M70. And if you're in the price range for, shopping for a car in the range of 185 to 225, so that's what this car is. Before options, 185 to 225 with options, which is very similar to the Mercedes EQS AMG sedan. You can also use it as alternative to the Porsche Taycan. So the 4S, which has a similar acceleration, it's much smaller, but it is also cheaper, between 150 and 160. And then again, right now you only have the 4S, and then you have to go to turbo, which is well over 200 grand. Then you have a sub 3-second acceleration. But kind of both of these Mercedes and BMW cars are kind of a great compromise between the two versions of the Taycan in terms of the performance and price. So I recommend that you should definitely consider it if this is you're shopping in this price range. I'm not even talking about Tesla Model S, because Tesla Model S is more comparable with the BMW i5 that we drove recently. So this is definitely bigger, larger, more comfortable car than the Tesla Model S. So that's why we don't even mention in our comparison any versions of the Tesla Model S. So let's finally give you, this is efficient mode, and there we go. So definitely you don't have the same acceleration as you would get in the other, in the sport mode, but it's still fast enough for passing. And by the way, this car, even without the Assist Plus, has the automatic lane change. So you have to keep your hand on the wheel. Of course, right now it won't work because we're on a side row. If we were on the Gardner next door, it would have changed the lane automatically for us. So that's kind of a neat thing, even without the option of Assist Plus. So that's about it. If you have any questions about this 7 Series or any of the other 7 Series that we tested, do not hesitate to comment under the video. We'll be pleased to respond to your questions. As usual, don't forget to press the subscribe button to be informed when the next video will be available. And as usual, we have to mention that all of our videos here at Tiva Association are brought to you by Condos and Castles Realty Inc. You can find them at www.condosandcastles.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next review.